Good morning. You're watching QTV This Morning. I am Ibrahim Balde. We are back again. A new week, a new month, birthday month. It's coming. I share it with Eliza, Benjamin, Aliu Jallo, our director. You know, this is our month. My own birthday is 6th of February with Benjamin. Eliza and Aliu, they share 7th February. You know, wish us all the best. And, you know, more success, you know, fuñ jógee démba, you know, tey moo gën fuñ jógee démba. Santa yàlla, yàlla na ëllëg mu gën fuñ nekk tey, inshallah. And I have Mr. Momodou Mbodj here with me. Good morning, Mr. Mbodj. When is your birthday?
Man, end of year. When I'm a November guy.
November, December.
I'm a November guy. Towards the end of the year.
Okay.
Yes, February. Our Independence Month.
Great things happen in February.
Valentine's. Absolutely. It's the month of purification. That's the name of February. It's the month of.
It's the meaning of February is purification.
The month of purification.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yes.
Amazing. You know. Yeah. So on the program, we'll take a look at the African code. From the code, then we will delve into the newspapers, and Mr. Momodou Mbodj is here to do that for us. NPP is likely to win the 2026 presidential election according to CEPRA's poll. Said Mati Jau will be here, co-founder and executive director of the Center for Research Policy Development. And of course, the Gambia Teachers Union also will be here. They host an entrepreneur event, Mr. Momodou Mbodj. And we'll be having Dauda Kujabi and Gali Cham. They will be here. And we will definitely delve into that as well. So without wasting much time, let's take a look at the African code. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second time.
The second best time.
The second best time.
Is now.
Is now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Procrastination. Do not procrastinate a lot. Do it now.
Yes, it is the thief of time. So it has stolen 20 years from you. But it's also telling us that, well, it's never too late to begin as well. Okay, you missed 20 years ago, but you've got now.
Mr. Momodou Mbodj, I will connect something. Today I saw an old lady. She was on the main highway when I was driving to work, and she was so particular about her child to go to school. I calculated the age of this young. Maybe she will be in her early 60s.
Okay, the woman.
The woman.
Yes.
And the boy is around maybe 15. But I calculate, okay, she is trying to help the boy. Probably before the boy graduate and finish school, the woman will be no more.
Absolutely.
But she is building it. It's never too late.
It's never too
late. You know,
late.
so I
in that sense, yes, you're absolutely correct. Since I didn't have the opportunity to go to school or whatever, but I've got a child, then I'll make sure that the child goes to school and have a better life than I did. Yes, so it's never too late in that sense, if you want to put it that way. So yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
One must realize that, isn't it? So, so what does that mean in reality? Don't spend your time regretting things, maybe. You're wasting energy. What is past is past. You really cannot do anything about the past. All you've got is the present. And what can you do, as it were? No need to sort of be moping about because you hadn't done this or you hadn't done that. But you've got the future. And it begins now. So what can you do now, as it were? What can you, I don't know, rescue from the wreckage?
What will happen to an individual who thinks, okay, it's done. I cannot start anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of things have passed. I got the opportunities, I mean, to get this and that, you know, maybe 20 years ago. But now time has passed, time has flied. I mean, you know, things have changed. Can I
give up? That sounds like the voice of giving up, the voice that has given up, as it were. Yes, some people are like that. There's not much gas. there's not much stamina to the soul, to the spirit. You know, you're going to have to develop that, cultivate that stamina of the soul. You know what I mean? You'll encounter all sorts of difficulties, but that's not the issue. That's life. Perhaps the issue is, what do you do when you encounter these issues? How do you respond? That is where your character, that's where you show character. But difficulties, we will all have our share of difficulties, but the difference would be how we respond to these difficulties. That's really what's going to make success or failure in the end.
Let's talk about all the necessary supports, I mean, that an individual should get in certain situations of difficulties. You know, difficulties can vary sometimes, Mr. Mamadou Mbodj. I mean, there are situations that you deal with alone, you understand? There are situations that, you know, you can have people that will support you. I mean, to share that burden. I mean, to make sure that burden is shared. A problem shared is a problem solved. But there are situations that, you know, there are problems that you cannot solve, and they will drain you out, and they will make you an individual who's going to be discouraged at the end.
The only reliable ally you have, really, is yourself. I don't know what you mean by support systems. You might be lucky to have that, a loving family or friends or neighbors or even state institutions in some societies. If I have a mental issue, there's somewhere that I can go. We don't quite have that. But the only person you can rely on is yourself. For anything else you have, it depends on what people want to do, even though they could be your family. So if you're really waiting for some kind of support system, we all understand the importance of it. It's really very important, you know, in helping us as well. But if it doesn't come, it doesn't come. You have to really rely on yourself. I think that's the safer bet. For me, that's the safer bet. To try as much as I can to rely on myself. To rely on anybody else, you're taking a massive risk.
A message, special message from Youssoufa Touré to you.
Yes.
He said, I should tell you, M. Jallow is coming to take your cup of coffee.
I'm waiting.
Dinaa la waxal dara de suba si tuuti M. Jallow mu jël moogi Mr. Mbodj bi dañ ko baalal rek. It's like, I mean, you know.
I've been fighting for this for so long, but do you know what I do to them? This is like a war of attrition. Every day I will come with my cup of coffee and I'll force them to take it. I knew that sooner or later they were going to say, oh God, sod it. Let him have his coffee.
Let him have his coffee. This is QTV This Morning. We are broadcasting from the Gambia, West Africa. And I am Ibrahim Abalde. Thank you very much for tuning in. And now we'll take a short break. After the break, we'll take a look at the newspapers. Quite interesting headlines. We'll be back.
Dake network koto mi yalonko wole warta nyimbanko kan adung adabe soniaring wala nyama imuna fang telefono la mi yalonko abe seniaring adung internet wobe tariaring nyindung kiusel dorna sinyin nati aleno ibori yela kiusel line ota customer care mi suti atima bi kiusel network ko mi warta network ko beti adung adabe soniaring kiusel sunu boss ntolenga silo walang dolia bulan noma
QCell, the fastest growing network in the Gambia, now presents to you the eSIM. QCell's eSIM allows you to electronically scan a code and join the world of digital SIM cards. Customers with physical SIMs can easily switch to the eSIM as well. So rush now and get connected with an eSIM and start using the latest mobile technology with your trusted GSM operator. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sinubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're just looking for a program, I mean, that will inform you, I mean, take you through and make you understand some of the stories on the newspapers, it's important for you to tune into QTV This Morning. And we are calling on all the sponsors, I mean, to come over and sponsor this program, because anything that you put on this program will absolutely sell There is no doubt about it. I mean, we will do the selling for you. This is a widely followed program and, you know, informative, both in the Gambia and outside. People follow this program on our satellite, channel, and of course on our social media handles. So wherever you are, you want product placement or you want to run your commercials on this platform, you are welcome. You can call the marketing number on 324-4444. 324-4444. Now, let's move on, Mr. Momodou Mbodj. And Halifa Sallah stresses sovereignty, unity, and the birth of Team Gambia. Yes. Halifa, if you know Halifa Sallah, Halifa is a man that emphasizes on unification, you know.
Unity.
Patriotism, you understand. Love for country, you understand. And of course, change of governance and reforms. These are the things that he echoes all the time. So I'm not surprised him saying this, Mr. Mbodj.
For me, the question I have here, the birth of Team Gambia. Do you mean that Team Gambia is not yet born? I would have thought that Team Gambia was born since 1965. I don't know.
But who's Team Gambia?
Gambians, who else? It's just us. Who else? Maybe sometimes we tend to think that, well, we don't tend to think it. It is the fact we have the government that is in charge, isn't it? But the government is from us. So we are the government, we are Team Gambia. It's always been born, but it's just that along the way we had taken a wrong turn. You know what I mean? So,
Mr. Mbodj, what do you mean by wrong turn?
1994 was a wrong turn. I will always say
some people will tell you 1994 was the right turn for Gambia.
Look at hindsight. We've got now the benefit of hindsight. It was a complete disaster.
People were not thinking, most people were not thinking like that during 94. We've heard the comments. I was much younger, but I knew the comments that people were saying because Jawara spent 30 years here. So they needed change.
No. I'm not sure about that. If people need change, you have a democracy. They demonstrated at the ballot box. Nobody did that at the ballot box. Mm-hmm. I think the last one before 1994 wasn't it 92? Something like that. There was an election just before Jawara won. If people want change, they demonstrate it through the ballot box, especially when your democracy is free. 1994 was a hijack of the state. Yes, let's
I agree.
Yes, let's get our terms right.
That
was a hijack, and then we were derailed.
Will never be legal.
We were derailed. It was just extraordinary. So we are trying to rebalance the ship, and these things, it's easier to destroy than to construct.
You see, I have a problem. I have a problem with coup d'états most of the time. You know, Mr. Ade was here last week, and I said to Ade, Mamadi Doumbouya of Guinea-Conakry is now behaving as if, okay, fine, I want democracy. I want Guineans to own themselves. I want to make sure there is peace in the country. But he came through coup d'etat. And we will never forget that, no matter what happened, even if he tries to allow democracy to flourish in Guinea-Conakry. I mean, he ushered out another president with the barrel of the gun, and that president was democratically elected, which is wrong to do that.
Worse than that, when he took over, what did he say? They had no interest in being in power. They had gone back on their word. So whatever you tell me that's what you want, I really cannot trust your word. You've already compromised yourself. So whatever you tell me, it depends. You may or you may not do it, depending on what you want to do. So this is it. Now, ECOWAS, they've accepted them, haven't they? For practical reasons, obviously. But this is it. Coups, so this is it. More times than not, the military is really never the solution. It has never been the solution in our history, the whole continent. It will never be the solution.
It will never be the solution.
No.
But I think sitting leaders also should do us a favor and try to hand over power at the right time. But sometimes leaders don't know what the right time is.
Yes, not least because everybody around them would be telling them how wonderful they are, and then they shouldn't leave. We have a sort of dysfunctional politics, winner takes all, so you don't want to leave. Because sometimes when you leave, the person who would succeed you will probably come after you, start charging you with all sorts of things. So it's just a dysfunctional politics. So when you're there, you don't want to leave. You know, it's just the nature of our politics these days. One is hoping that maybe Gen Z will come with some kind of revolution, a revolution in our thinking about these things, but I do not know.
Yeah. So, I mean, on the same vein, I mean, Land Minister highlights unacceptable practices in change of land use. Minister Hamad Bah. You know, people didn't seem to trust Ahmad a lot about when they appointed him as minister, but now we are seeing a lot of actions. You know, there was a time when...
What kind of actions? And can you...
Well, land policies. I mean, they are putting out policies. They are putting out benchmark to make sure, okay, these lands belong to Gambians. I mean, foreigners shouldn't come through the Gambian own hectares of land. At the end of the time, you can lease, you can rent them probably for a specific number of years, but you cannot own them totally. I mean, the minister said that.
Policy is not
action. I think they are good.
Policy is not action. Do you know how many policies we have? Do you know how many laws we have? Do you know how much is out there? Hey, look, if we are serious about things, let's take action. We should have long controlled land, really. Most countries you go to, they have stringent laws about foreigners owning land. Otherwise, sooner or later, you're sowing the seeds of a future social unrest. Sooner or later, I think the sort of land policies we have now, we are very open. Really, anybody can really come and buy land, as far as I understand it. That's why you have so many foreigners that you just come and buy land. A good number of Gambians will tell you that prime land now is owned by foreigners. So any government that's really not sensitive to things like that, if you're not careful, you're sowing the seeds of a future social unrest, but you wouldn't be there, you will have been gone. But your lack of foresight is really cost it. We should be really very careful about that. Everybody complains about land, and as a corollary, housing, the cost of it. There's a lot of sort of social concern in this area. At what time, what point would it reach that tipping point where it becomes a crisis? I do not know. So we should be very careful about our land. You know, we're just so easy. Anybody can just come and buy land, it seems. That's what it seems to me.
My problem with the land system in the Gambia is the issue of agents. I mean...
Well, that's more to do with housing and that sort of thing, real estates and agents. How many times have we talked about it here? The regulation is so weak, it's almost non-existent. Anybody can do really whatever you like. That's it. So it's just all part of the institutional weaknesses, as it were. Almost as if that we cannot run a bureaucracy.
And can you imagine, I mean, this week, I was surfing on Facebook and I saw a house being advertised for rental, and what occurred to me was the voice saying, okay, we have a house here at this location, you know, the house is this, is that, and that, and that. But I realized, okay, this is not a Gambian voice. So these are priorities that are already given out to anybody that can come and do whatever we want with our lands and houses in the Gambia. And they will become expensive at the end of the time.
Absolutely. This is what happens when you have foreigners coming in with us. We don't have much money in here. If you're relying on salary or even your business, we don't have much money. When we compete with foreigners, you know, they come with their euros, maybe pounds or dollars, then they will outbid us every time. We will lose all the time, most of the time, let's put it that way. So that is the issue. But again, you don't get the sense that the state has really prioritized this. There's a lot of talking, but action, there's none. Not long ago, we've heard, wasn't it from the central bank or sort of people in the Ministry of Finance or so telling us that we shouldn't pay for instance, rent in dollars or foreign currency. A good number of people, that's what they demand. And of course, you have these officials coming out to say, no, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. But in reality, this is what operates. So there's a disconnect between what officials will tell you, this is the law, this is the policy, this is what's going to happen. But when you go down to the ground and you experience things, it's completely different. So you have these parallel worlds, as it were, the world of officialdom and the reality that we face, or official rhetoric, you know, the rhetorical world of officialdom and the reality that we face on the ground.
Absolutely.
There's this disconnect.
UDP to open a coalition, but not to a convention to select flag bearer.
No, that was funny. When I read it this morning, I said that was funny.
So it's like UDP is guiding their flag bearership. They have to make it very clear.
Absolutely.
If you are coming, you can come.
Come in, but you're going to take a subordinate role.
You are welcome. But
the back seat. You're taking the back seat.
No, but this is really funny, you know. This is really funny. Okay, so I mean, where is politics of competence? Where is politics of ideas?
Come on. No, this is the politics of size. You're the biggest opposition here. So there will be no discussion about who's going to be the flag bearer. I'm bigger than you. So when you join me, you're going to take a subordinate role.
Well, I don't think there is. It makes sense whether you are a big party or not.
It does. It's about numbers.
Let's talk about this. You can be a bigger party and you won't win any election, but you might need the help of the smaller party to win the election.
Yes, but on what basis are we going to form the coalition? If I'm bigger than you, my voice will be bigger. Let's be honest. You're not going to have that sort of absolute parity. How can you have that? Because we have different sizes.
What I'm trying to highlight here...
It's not going to happen.
What I'm trying to highlight here, I mean, these small political parties too, they are important in another way. Mawalatay, come nusuñ former minister num ko de waxe oje yal nako yalla yirem mune si back yaangi amé bumbu 10 meters man maangi amé 10 meters set mati jaw mo ngi amé bumbu 5 meters te 10 bi 25 meters la suma také sa boss ma taka suma boss 20 meters la be legi duñ mëna jot ndox bi de waye fokk set mati ñew aksi mu taka 5 meters am bobu nonu ñu mëna jot ndox bi
granted why okay non la démé what is the point of jot ndox mi suñ ko joté naka la ñoo agréé ne non lañ ko distribuer.
Wow.
See, Albert Camus, the French writer, sometimes meaning that they found in metaphor. Isn't it that metaphor in that way? Of course it is true. But here we're dealing with human beings, political parties, policies. How do you apply it in the real world, in world Melni? So it might sound profound, but when you look at it, it is not helpful. It doesn't help me at all in the way we discuss politics, agree or disagree, compromise, as it were, give and take. That's the nature of politics. So unfortunately, that doesn't help me. When you come to join my party, I'm the bigger one. I'm going to have the bigger voice. If you don't want it, don't join. This is the reality of politics.
Yeah.
This is what we've seen all over the world.
That's the
This
reality.
is what I've seen all over the world, man.
Although I mean, it should be politics of ideas, competence. You know, probably the UDP.
Sometimes we're emotional. Not even sometimes. A good number of times, people are just emotional. The U.S. very practiced democracy. They gave us a Trump. Look around the world. You know, as Churchill once put it, the most sort of damning criticism of democracy is just 5 minutes conversation with your average voter. So let's not big it up too much, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. This is QTV this morning. Teacher sentenced to 10 years for raping 2 students. I mean, on the Observer Light. Observer 24 rather.
Raping 2 students.
Yeah.
10 years. That person should have had 50 years.
25. Yes, I wanted to. I have.
Rape is a serious offense.
This is a very interesting story. We want to know where.
Well, is that detail important? Sort of, maybe it will be important to know the circumstances in which it happened, what went wrong, you know, how can socially we improve this, improve that, or is it at the school, what can we do to improve? So it's important to learn about the details of the case.
Yes, all right. So Barrow praised over outstanding accomplishment. Money. Narbi nanko fay horomam wise. Me, my road is good. Be St. Peters. Be didem mandinaring. Makumbaya. Suma yon bi ñu ko defar. So I cannot say much about it. Xam naa ne Farato seen yoon yi ñu ko defar. Xam naa ne Basse seen yoon yi ñu ko defar. Gis nañ suñ yoon yi. So su gaay suñ ko pressé de maybe man tam ma bokka si ñu ko pressé de. Sometimes nag xam naa ab de tànga. You know, why it doesn't mean ne maa ngi jël side President Adama Barrow.
What's the headline?
They've praised Barrow over outstanding accomplishment.
Who are they in this sense?
Well, that's the newspaper headline.
Praise Barrow over accomplishments.
Probably supporters.
Okay, fine. Why this immediately? They praise Barrow over accomplishments. Why you went straight for the road?
Wow, because man bobu la gis bo xamne mo nga njëriñ suma society.
Absolutely. Why lima wax moy accomplishments. As a president, there are so many sectors.
I know.
Absolutely.
I know.
So that is one aspect. How do I judge an overall accomplishment? You know what I mean? Obviously.
Accomplishment is huge.
It encompasses so many different things. When the analogy I give, let us be careful. Timing down the imagine as O levels, English, maths, all of these different subjects, right? So now imagine to be a subject must score for 9 out of 10. For instance, road building, maybe even energy, electricity. I was just thinking about it last night. It has so massively improved. The Gimadan and power cuts, I don't have them anymore. That's my experiences like that. You know what I mean? For now, So imagine for Fumajola 7 or 8 out of 10. Why am the cost of living, job creation. So some 10 subjects. Some average. Even though I'm not feeling 9, I'm feeling 7 or 8. Some average, some would fail. So I should be very careful to focus on 1 or 2. Axina, fake yangi, I'm 5 or 6 other subjects. You have maybe and for score 2 or 3 or whatever over 10. When I average them, I fail. I fail when I average them.
It's important. For ñu mëna sét nu ñoo contraster certain things. I mean, to put and balance it very well.
How do I judge achievement? It's on the whole. Then I, of course, acknowledge the wonderful things you're doing in sector A, B, C, and D. Granted. Why sector E, F, G, H, whatever, you are not doing well.
Wow.
So it must be balanced out.
Well, Mr. Momodumbo, there is no country in the world where I'm 10 over 10.
Obviously.
loolu amut.
Obviously, that goes without saying. I don't even need to say that. You know what I mean?
Well,
Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect.
It's difficult
I don't need to say it.
for people to just look at areas that are not working well. You jël loolu, you make a final judgment on everything. I think sometimes we need to be fair.
No. You are missing it. Just as I cannot take one or two you more def well, pull more reflect on the broader subject. I cannot use that. Therefore, things are well. So, tamid munu madam jël tamid areas nga xamne defut well. Mane no everything is bad. Munu madam def the extremes. Reason, logic wouldn't allow me to do either of the two. So, in the end, I find the question being made like me. On the whole, how does it look? You know what I mean? You got it well done, keep on doing that. But how do we fix the other bits? How do we deal with that? So our thinking must be subtle. It must be nuanced, not the easy binary, either good or bad. It's good and bad, if you know what I mean. I would rather use and than or. It's not, life is not that simple.
So, Esam Fall urges diaspora to mobilization ahead of December polls. Esam no more campaign legi dafa garaw de.
Yes.
You know, the other day I watched one of his videos. What I've seen is maturity, understanding the people, and making sure he communicates very well.
Yes.
Esa is a communicator. Wow.
We're lawyers.
Wow.
Should be good talkers.
He understands what the Gambia politic is all about. So these people, sometimes you have to show them the danga janga. What they want to understand is how you talk to them, how you come to their level sometimes. And I'm seeing Esa doing that.
Yes. The Femeniki, the guy they were here, don't tell me, show me. So you demonstrate Danga Janga in the way you handle material. Isn't it? Exactly.
It's the way.
You make your moves, then I look at it, I'm like, that's a smart one.
Wow.
So absolutely, with all that experience. And
Yeah.
it's a good candidate, putting you in the field. You know what I mean? Highly experienced internationally, in business, done his work. So he's a good candidate to have in the field. Because of hanging in politics, like Nimel, the really intellectuals, the really big time brains, we don't go into politics, do we? We just mind our own business, doing our own business, then we leave the field to others. So it is important that high caliber people in the field, in the political field.
Deka bo xamne tay gis nga it's really hard pour nga honest gis nga pour understand things. Man gis na ne amna yene deka yo xamne restaurant rek la ñew binda. Da nga xamne restaurant da nga ñew duga nga enjoy sa bop nga leka. Waye comme Gambia fi when you write restaurant da nga wara draw nit mu ngi tiyé leka da nga wara draw different leka bo xamne fo ñu ko toga ci restaurant even with the writings restaurant xam nañ ne restaurant I mean food moko neka but you have to put the food a full graphic of the food to understand. So this is how our politics is. You cannot just sit at your comfort zone nga wax. You need to go down to the people ngeen waxtaan. So I think it's a good move.
How lay jema wax fofu de so called go down to the people, talk to people and that sort of thing. Yes, but man, I'm more suspicious of Linde Oye populism. I'm not gonna do it simply because a lot of people think that I should do it, but my judgment Mama would lead me, I should do it. I'm not a populist. I don't like populism at all. So, they're not decluded, but let's be careful. In the world of politics, I'm no low mun def, I'm no low mun to def. Do not overpromise. You have politicians feeling this pressure, promising so much that you really cannot deliver. But because of the populist sentiment, I am not into that. I don't believe in a leader da nga xool ni gars yi moo gee woon Tony Blair one time ñu ne ko yow da nga dee xool nit ñi direction bi ñoo dem so nga daw dem taxaw seen kanam taalal foog ne yaa ngi leen di lead su gars yi gestoo rek nga daw seen kanam taxaw seen kanam
oh loolu lañ ko wax
waaw dañ ko doon mook at one time I'm not a populist I don't do that I think I like the Tolstoy idea a great leader da nga xool the direction that humanity is going then nga lead for your people yow yay lead ñoom ñu toppale
finally I mean we want to do one story 4 killed in a fatal car crash in LRR moo nekk ñu ne tricycle bu amee woon bidon yi you know essence yooyu ba pare moto bi ñëw dóor ko so the impact gaay taal can you imagine ñu taal ñoom yëpp bañ la ka ñu dee you know instantly loolu is really crazy moo tax dañ war a seet nu ñoo réguler suñ fuel transportation bi comme ay tricycle or di def ay fuel si ay bidon di ko def si ay moto di ko transport boor yooyu daf dee tànga di hit you know is really crazy so this is what happened over
regulation is one thing waaye mooy the lowest bar in suñ experience fu mu nekk gis nañ ñu mel noonu mooy the lowest bar the high one mooy enforcing the regulations. That has always been our difficulty. Yes, this is what we see all over the place. Just this morning when I was coming in with Malika, we were saying this. Then there's Sagan, maybe they want to calculate risk, but Linde gets to Talibi. It's just extraordinary. Sometimes they even border on what is stupid. I am going to say it. You see all sorts of things around. Well, suma defee lu gàtta xel apply uma suma xel ci li ma def then sometimes I shouldn't be surprised suma amee yenn consequences life is not about magic it's not about wishful thinking so when there is not much thought in what I do then disaster might ensue from my actions sometimes ang dee xalaat sax but yet problems am life is very difficult anyway but this is it. When are we going to wake up to things? How are we going to wake up? Is there some kind of sanity to our roads? I do not know. Authorities seem to be sort of appealing to our moral sentiment. Moral sentiment must have data, regulation, strong regulation, enforcement. Sooner or later you might change people's conduct. But if I know that nothing's going to come out of it, there's no incentive for anything. So there's some kind of crisis of institutional efficiency. People change. So we'll be talking about this all the time. How many times have we talked about accidents? And we'll keep on doing it. And when you look at the world rankings and statistics, it's so high there, small Gambia. It seems there's nothing that we can do about it.
Thank you, Mr. Mamoudou Mbodj, for reviewing the stories. And, you know, it was really, I mean, great catching up with you, having this conversation with you on this platform. And before end of the week, I think we'll have this again.
Absolutely, and I come with my dispiriting points of view.
At this point, we'll take a short break. This is QTV This Morning. We'll be back.
Vocal si network bu gëna rëy gëna yombale si réewi Gambia bi fii jëfandikool call bu set internet bu gaaw li yëpp si njëg bu yomba fii si QCell dawal léegi si suñ customer care bu la gën a jege ñu may la QCell line te doo si fay dara QCell network bu gën a rëy te it gën a yombale si réew mi fii QCell suñu bas ñoo xaali yoon bi ñeneen toppa.
These tracks have become my wall, my arena of victory and fear.
Good morning. Welcome back after the break. I am Ibrahim Abalde. And now I am with Seth Matijau, co-founder and executive director of Center for Research, Policy and Development. Good morning, Seth Mati.
Morning, Mr. Balde.
It's good to have you here.
Yeah, always happy to be here.
Yeah, so how have you been?
I've been good, alhamdulillah.
Nice.
Been good.
Yeah, so NPP likely to win the 2026 presidential election according to the CEPRAS polls. I mean, it's a new CEPRAS pre-election poll shows NPP and its alliance to win at least 46%, I mean, the upcoming December election. According to the report, you know, NPP edge going to the election 2026. I mean, Mr. Seth Mati, please take us through that.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. At least just to start by congratulating CEPRAS for coming up with this pre-election survey, which, as we've seen, it is basically doing what its intention was, to engage the public in conversation ahead of the election. And per your the report and per your question, we also noticed that CEPRAS asked two questions. One, that is the intent to vote. And there is another one where it also asks about the perception of the people in terms of who's the likely winner that is going to be. And in terms of the likely winner, so you know, most people think that NPP is likely to be the winner of the 2026 election. But then if you go to in terms of the intent to vote, you will see that there's greater number of people, almost 49% compared to the NPP, that are likely to vote, not to vote for the NPP, than the 34% that will vote for the NPP. So it's a good starting point for all the political parties to debate on these numbers to see what exactly the conversation ahead of the election should be.
So what do you think, I mean, that large percentage of undecided voters, what do you think, I mean, leads to this?
Yeah, I mean, like quite a number since 2018 when we started doing surveys. We noticed that if you look at it in terms of whether people are close to party or not, usually people will tell you that they are not close to political parties, and you know, so being close to political parties, one is believe that it is, you know, if you're close to one party, you're likely to vote for that political party, and so in Gambia, you know, we see that not many people are part of political parties, but of course they support political parties. When it comes to elections, they vote. And so, I mean, at this point, you can ask them, well, I don't know who the candidates are, I'm undecided, but of course, this doesn't mean that they will not turn out to vote. And as you can see on the other findings, quite a lot of people already have voters' card, and others also intending to register voters' card. So, so for me, the undecidedness is perhaps it is too early, and it's not conclusive yet for them. It's not just that because they are not close to a political party.
So, I mean, let's talk about the accuracy, Mr. Sedmati. You know, I mean, how accurate is this report? I mean, sometimes people might, these are just reports. I mean, the other parties might not think they are very genuine. So, how accurate is this?
I mean, to start with, I think there is no scientific report that is like 100%, we all agree, but there are certain things scientifically that you use to measure whether a study is reliable or valid. So there are measures that you need to look at to do those kind of stuff, in terms of the fact that if you look at CEPRAS methodology, they've been very transparent in terms of how they conducted the study. That's one way to show that today, if I decided, me and you decided to say, okay, we want to repeat the same study today, that can we follow the same method and can we arrive at the same conclusion? So those are things that people need to look at also. And the other thing is, this is a perception study, or is a study that is, you know, it's not like a census. So they pick sample from the population, and I think they have been very clear in terms of how they did that with the multi-stage sample that they have used in terms of proportioning it to size. So for me, in terms of the methodology, usually when people talk about accuracy and all that thing, is the methodology that they're attacking. But eventually, the methodology is scientifically proven, it has been, and so, and they also, based on their own design framework, they tell you that there's a room for you know, possibility of lack of accuracy, and then they've calculated that based on plus 3% you know, range. So for me, this is very scientific, and that's what we exist to do.
So the people that are behind, I mean, this survey, you know, how equipped are they, and how you know, understanding are they as far as this survey is concerned? That's
Well,
also
they are
important to
colleagues.
know.
I mean, like Cyprus is well known here. This is not the first time that they're doing pre-election survey, and they're also colleagues. Even though I'm in the political science department, they're mostly economists. They are well. Most of them, especially if you look at the team that they study, these are like high-level intellectuals,
Okay.
doctors, Dr. Hamidu, well-known, Dr. Jabate, Damfal, and others, and even Diba. I mean, these are people that are historically they have been known in terms of the way they do the work that they've been doing, and since 2016, Cyprus has been here. And so you remember, I've worked with Cyprus during the Afrobarometer 2018, the first 3 rounds of Afrobarometer. We did it together. So for me, it's a group of people that I can strongly attest to, that they are scientists and that they are researchers, that they are only interested in evidence to contribute to the development of the country.
So let's talk about, I mean, these are surveys, I mean, and surveys cannot be 100%, I mean, correct sometimes. I mean, you know, what, with the NPP leading or likely to win, what should the NPP do to actually convert this polling lead to actual votes? I mean, what should they do? What do you think?
NPP should pay me money, you know. I'm a person. If I have to answer that, they have to pay me money. I mean, but you know, the agenda of the survey is basically to help, you know, show everybody their weaknesses and their perhaps the potential areas where they can tap on. And so if you look at NPP, I mean, as much as people are saying, of course, NPP is likely to win, there are other issues. There are other issues that they are not happy with in terms of the reforms, in terms of delivery, in terms of cost of living. So these are issues that the NPP, because they are the incumbent, they are the party in government, these are the things that they need to listen. Earlier you were discussing about the cost of living and all these different routes. Yes, their performance in certain areas and all that. So they need to weigh it down and then look at it. But not only weighing it all this different overall, but to look at it in terms of regional variance. People in the urban area might be more concerned about the high cost of living, life being more expensive here compared to the rural community. And so the needs of these different regional dynamics are different, but the needs of women, the needs of men, and for me, not only NPP, but for the entire political party, if you're doing political messaging, political campaigning, these are important dynamics that you look at from the data and see how best you can target them individually.
So how was this data gathered, Mr.?
I think Cyprus will be in a better position too, but if you read the report, they talk about the fact that it was done, you know, face-to-face, because face-to-face is, you know, there you meet the people, you interact with them and all that. And then they said that they collected this data around the 5th, I think in November last year. So the timing is also very there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really very significant sometimes. I mean, normally when these things happen, this type of surveys are other political parties, agents involved. I mean, we just want to understand.
Oh, no. So when you're doing surveys, especially for us, you know, as our institution, I'm CRPD, they're Cyprus, but all of our institution, one core thing that we try to do is independence. When you're doing independence, it means like you try as much as possible to, you know, not be aligned with any party and all that, so that you can do it individually. So even for us, when when you're selecting people that are going to the field, you don't select people that are already known. I mean, people have their choices; they can be anywhere. But you don't pick people that are known partisans or members that are part of the party. And mostly you pick university students to go to the field, and most of those that are doing the analysis, going out doing the talking, they're just mostly at the back end. They are at the final stage of the analysis and the discussion. But most of the data is collected at different stages by different people, and so that's one of it. Yeah.
I mean, someone just sent a message and said, don't you think it's too early for one to say NPP is likely to win the 2026 election?
I mean, this is why I appreciate Cyprus survey. It's never early because it's part of the conversation. I mean, so this survey was done last year in November, and I'm sure part of their project they have to do many surveys as well at least, so maybe, I don't know, every 3 months, 2 months, but there's another one that is coming also. So for us, as scientifically, we can show that within this period to this period, this one has got this percentage increase, this one has got that percentage increase, but it's never early. Even for us, Afrobarometer back in 2024, when we did our round 10, we even, one question that we always ask every round is, if presidential election were to be held tomorrow, which of these parties' candidates will you vote for? So it's never early to gauge the public opinion or perception in terms of the popularity of candidates or parties, or if elections were to be held, who they're going to vote for. And that also adds to the public discussion. And for us, that is the role that academics should play in the democratic consolidation process. Yeah.
So youth voters as well, was it mentioned on the report?
And this is very interesting, yes. Youth voters, I think, are there. And also I was looking at those, particularly the intent to vote. I think if you look at the report, for me, that was very interesting. Quite a lot of Gambians, almost 81%, I think, if I remember exact figures, say that they have access to voters card. Of course, a quite number that do not have, also they have intention to register. But also within that dynamic, you also see youth compared to the older generation. So sometimes there's a whole gap in terms of their understanding of these processes. And I think them segregating the data in terms of age, gender, and region was very useful for civil society, for all, for even the IEC, for civic education, people that are interested in targeting these groups, to be able to say, okay, why is it that rural youths are more likely to register, to vote than the urban youths? And so is it that there is a lack of interest, or, and of course, conversation is that, the intention is that, I mean, the assumption is that mostly urban people are more informed, more aware, but when it comes to the democratic engagement and all those things, sometimes you realize that it is mostly rural people that are more active, more engaging than urban. And so what is the, and so the survey is showing those things from me. So how do we capitalize on that?
And you know, without even the survey, that is the reality.
But the survey is now, you see the reality, now the survey is confirming that.
Like, it's like the survey is kind of, I mean, on track, huh?
Because what you do with surveys is like, me, I just come to you, and then based on the selection, if you're the one that we selected, we come and talk to you. So we talk to you, we ask you the question, even though we program it, but you are telling us your everyday reality, or what you see within
around. So we call it a virtual election, sort of, the survey.
It's a sort of an election.
It's sort of an election, yes.
But even election itself is survey. The final, but that is the final survey. I mean, you can look at it that, because at the end of the day, you'll have boxes and people will come and vote who they want. And that is about counting and aggregating percentages.
So, Said Madi, most people will be like, okay, there is a region, that's the region that is going to make the president to, like the party to win. I mean, which regions do you think there are strongholds of different political parties, the NPP and UDP?
I think to answer that, I mean, one of the questions in terms of the intent to vote, if you look at that, the survey shows that the NPP is stronger, and I think previous surveys even show that NPP is usually stronger in the rural communities, in rural regions. Basse, Janjambure, even now, Mansa Konko, I think with this separate survey, Mansa Konko has come out. I think one of those regions where it is balanced, Kerewan is being balanced, I think. But so in most of what we consider the rural regions, we see that there is a very strong likelihood on the intention to vote for NPP. But if you look at the urban area, it's a different, they prefer to vote for another party. And this another party could be all of the 20 political parties that other exist. So even within that, with our first past the post system, one could always see that within that region, even that NPP has a slight edge if you compare what the total outcome of the other political parties are. So for me, I mean, that particular graph is very interesting. It shows where the support base is. Imagine today if Cyprus was supported to increase their sample size, because conducting survey requires money, 2,400, then they can even do district level analysis to show you where these political parties are really strongest. And, you know, they can point to, and they can point to you, and you as a political party, you go and see, you can go and confirm or otherwise.
So can the opposition overturn, I mean, NPP's, I mean, the results according to CEPRAS? And if yes, Why and how?
Of course, perception change. People's perception change. MPP can be strong today. Tomorrow they have done something, or there are many issues. You have a vibrant media. People are listening. People are seeing what is happening. And maybe one of the reasons why political parties or opposition parties are not very visible is because they're not being seen. And so the more visible they are, the more they are seen, the more people also resonate with what they're saying. I think then that is the way that, they can overturn NPP. But of course, this is where we also talk about incumbency advantage. NPP's advantage is that opposition are talking about we want to deliver the service. NPP is incumbent and he's delivering the service. If they talk about roads, we're already delivering roads. Electricity, we are trying to electrify the entire country. So there are those debates that are there, but those are not the only issues. People vote for different reasons, and those different reasons political parties must be able to understand and what motivates them. And sometimes I feel it's not only about the issue of service delivery, it's about the personal connection, it's about other issues, the trust, the fear. So there are a lot of issues within our own socio-political dynamics that people must factor. And it's not only about service delivery. Because I remember 2021 election, we were on the radio and then saying why you must vote. And then we were talking about service delivery. And these old people, I use them old people, older men, we are calling and say, Lulu yep si jamala H. So you see the younger generation, they're focusing on delivery of service.
Development.
Yes, development. But the older generation, their own agenda is more around peace, stability. So you need to, as a political party, you need to know what everybody wants and how do you deliver those goods, because it's the aggregation of interest. So you must be able to aggregate interest, and people have different interests.
Absolutely. Thank you, Seth Mati Jau, for coming on the program. And can we access the report?
Yeah, the report is online. For me, I did not participate in the study, so it is online and accessible. But before I go, we're focusing on who's going to win or who's not going to win. But the report, I think, is beyond that.
It talks about a lot of things.
Yes, intent to register to vote, especially now that we are going to the electoral cycle, which is going to be soon, very soon. I think based on IEC electoral cycle, we're going to do registration. So already for civil society, there are indicators that we can push in to know where people are not intending to vote, especially in urban areas. You do campaign on that. And about the reforms, some of the reforms that people talk about in the report, some of those reforms are already existing. Like there's a new electoral law. Maybe within this period, if people are aware of these laws, what are the new changes, how it is strengthening our democracy, some of the issues that have been highlighted here, you can see that it could change in terms of their perspective, because they are already aware of this information.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Seth Mati. We've exhausted this time, and we'll take a short break. After the break, then we'll invite the Gambia Teachers Union on the program. We'll be back. It's the Gambia Teachers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Okay, we'll be back.
These tracks have become my wall, my arena of victory and fair. I relentlessly walk, push, strain, and stretched. Moments when every fiber of my being screams, give up. But the fire within me won't let me quit. Despite the burning muscles, in this sport, every moment matters. Every second counts. My failures, my dreams, my pain, my triumphs, they propel me forward beyond all limits. I am Gina Mariam Basbite, and this is Sunyubus.
In the vibrant heart of the Gambia, where life pulses with energy and connections bind us together, your number is the key that unlocks a world of possibilities. Whether you're chasing dreams, sharing passions, or simply brightening someone's day, your number matters in the symphony of our daily lives. Two numbers connect us all. What's your number?
Man la Ami Kole, maa ngi nii Craft Market Serekunda, may jaay ay malaan, ay keyring, te suma number mooy 522 7306.
Assalamualaikum. Aha, to caterpillar men fali so mi donnam no mama si me mi wara ma call. Wadu 3 7 3 6 9 4 4.
This is QTV This Morning. I am Ibrahim Abalde. Now, the Gambia Teachers Union, Cooperative Credit Union, hosts Entrepreneurs Hori, and the Gambia Teachers Union, Cooperative Credit Union, on Friday hosted its Entrepreneurs Hori, gathering over 200 entrepreneurs and aspiring business owners to foster partnership and drive sustainable business growth. And we have Dauda Kujabi, Chief Executive Officer, Gambia Teachers Union, Cooperative Credit Union, and Galai Cham, Business Development Director, Gambia Teachers Union, Cooperative Credit Union. Gentlemen, it's good to have you on the program.
Thank you.
Thank you. So it's important for us to talk about this gathering and, you know, the outcome at the end of the time. Please, can you take us through, Mr. Cham?
Well, thank you for hosting us. It was a very important event that definitely showcased what GTUCCU is all about. We are here for business, we are here for entrepreneurs, and we are here for service. It has been far too long that people associate GTUCCU with only teachers.
Teachers, yes.
And teachers affiliate.
Okay.
That, alhamdulillah, it's no longer the notion. We are open for business, and we are inviting all and sundry, whoever is into any form of entrepreneurship or business activity, you are welcome to GTUCCU. I'm sure as we progress into the discussion, I will share with you more on what we do and how we do things at GTUCCU and why we are different. Yeah.
All right. It's important for us to understand, you know, the importance of this networking. I mean, the event that was organized, the importance. We want to understand how is this going to benefit entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's involve Mr. Kujabi.
Thank you for having me. Like you mentioned, my name is Dauda Kujabi. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Gambia Teachers Union, Cooperative Credit Union.
Okay.
The event is kind of a revelation of what we do, because we have been doing it. When the Common Bond was opened years ago, over a decade ago, GTUCCU was open to business. As a cooperative, our role is to empower, to enhance, and to support existing and aspiring businesses. We understand that our economy as a nation is anchored on small and medium enterprise businesses, ranging from a groundnut seller around Latrikunda Sabeji School to a vegetable seller in Fatoto, Basse Market. They are into small and medium enterprise businesses. That has been their daily routine for decades. We ask ourselves, how can they improve those small businesses? Because we are all products of small, medium enterprise trades. Most of us were able to go to school through the sales of vegetable gardens. And where I come from in the village, my mother is a vegetable grower. She used to harvest vegetables, take them to Brikama market. That has been her trade all her life. And that's what she supported me. My father has also been a farmer. They are into trade. But at the end of the day, they operate at subsistent level. That becomes the routines. So how do we scale that up? It's our responsibility. They send us to school to change the narrative. That is the drive that we are into. That is the journey that we are embarking onto. So how do we change the narrative? Some of the business people that came for that story, they are product of GTUCCU. We pick them from small, medium enterprise business with a capital of less than 5,000, 6,000, and we turn them to big business people. And they started employing people. All that is the impact. That is the end gain. That is the end goal that we are trying to look at. They employ people. That also contributed to the reducing the unemployment rate of the country. But again, there is more to that. So we brought them together for people to understand that cooperatives, if they strived, it helped the economy to grow. And when the economy grows, that also translates to the peace and stability of any country. And that's what brings development. Cooperatives are development banks. They are development financial institutions. That's what they do. So Gambia, we realize that a lot of people graduate from the university. They become job seekers. Even they have jobs, it does not address their socio-economic well-being.
Absolutely.
So they need to have access to finance. What they access must be affordable, which is very important for us. And it must be sustainable. It should not be difficult to get it. And when they get it, it should improve their livelihood. And we have improved livelihoods all over in the Gambia. GTUCC is a household name. We have impacted every individual in this country. If anyone who goes to school, or you don't even go to school, you benefit from the service of a teacher. If that teacher is stable financially, you expect that teacher to go to school and deliver. You expect that teacher to become a role model. In those days, if you ask kids, what do you want to become in life? What your career path? Hardly they mention a teacher.
Yes.
We are not saying that notion
has changed.
Has changed.
Yes.
But teachers are not people anymore in the country. When people look at their son,
The narrative is changing.
It's changing. This is what GTCC has been doing for teachers. But if you are able to address this of the teachers issue, you could not address the issue of people who graduate from university. You could not access people who are selling in the market. You could not, it's like they don't have what you call the spillover effect, which we are interested in. That's why GTC is open up to businesses. And now we can say freely that we have supported businesses. And this business also, they contribute to employability of people in the Gambia. So this business event is about showcasing or exposing ourselves to what we are doing to the public. And the turnout was great, I will say. The message was passed across, and people started feeling who we are, and we challenge people to come on board to benefit from this, because this is what changed the economy.
So, Mr. Cham, what specific opportunities, were provided for young entrepreneurs and existing businesses during the event?
Okay, at GTUCC, we have a slogan. If you are a startup, we grow with you by providing you with the seed capital, the advisory support that most small business or startups do lack. Access to finance is very critical in terms of how they can expand and how also they can scale up. At GTUCCU, what we really do with startups and businesses is to provide that critical link that is access to financing. We give it to them, less hassle, less bureaucratic, and we do not only give you money and turn our backs. We give you the funds at very affordable and reasonable rates, and then we also guide the process on how you will spend, how to manage, how to budget, how to follow up on what type of business that you are into. We are not only interested in the success, but we are also interested in the journey. CEO mentioned that we create household names in terms of business today, but the list goes on. We can sit here and name so many successful entrepreneurs that passed through GTUCC that have definitely benefited from our services we provided, and they are still goodwill ambassadors of GTUCC. If I'm just allowed to say, your host here is a champion of GTUCC, Mr. Seth Matijow. Our special greetings to him. The list goes on. Like I said in my intro, we are not only for teacher and teacher affiliates.
Yeah, so who can benefit from your service?
Anybody.
Even me?
Even you, my dear brother, you are most welcome to join GTCCU. And it's very simple. You do not need all those paperwork that other financial institutions may request. You just have to fill the prescribed form, attach your national documents, valid ones, passport size pictures, and you can be a member. As simple as that.
So what are the criteria?
In terms of being
only the papers, your papers, your national document?
Yes. Your after filling the form, you attach 2 passport size photos, valid national documents, and then from there you start saving. On the spot, you can be a member of GTUCCU.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So I mean, Mr. Kujabi, how important, was this event to GTUCCU?
I think one of the most important things about the event is visibility and image building. We have been striving on our reputation, but in terms of visibility and image building, many people attribute or associate GTUCCU to only teachers. And they are not aware, many people are also not aware that they have been yearning to join a credit union, but they are not even aware that they can join a credit union, GTUCCU, even they are not teachers or teacher affiliate. The other component, to me, there are a lot of businesses, startups, who are yearning to have access to finance, but they do not even know where to go. The other financial players in the market, in the financial landscape, Gambia is a country that, that do not have a cooperative bank wherein people can be supported for startups.
Yeah.
So that also, it kills dreams. You may have lofty ideas, lofty dreams. You want to grow your business. But the fundamental here is the finance. Access to finance becomes a challenge. We are also conscious of the fact that there are people going through the back way in search of greener pasture. That becomes a national pandemic. I want to describe it. It becomes a call.
Absolutely.
So it should be everybody's interest. And GTUCCU, we do not only play our part in the economic component of it, but we are also concerned with the social, which is very important. If we are losing now the fabric of our economy, that the young people trying to go to Europe through the Mediterranean in search of greener pasture, that in itself is something, is a national problem. And GTUCCU exists within that space. We also want to contribute to that. If people understand what we do, we create this opportunity for young people. Imagine you spend 4 years at the University of the Gambia, you graduate, you sit for another 4 years even without picking a job. That trauma in itself is a challenge. The Business School of University of the Gambia, in my view, is they are not training people only to go and look for jobs in offices. They are training them to become entrepreneurs. To create jobs.
Yes.
If 10 people create jobs, they are able to employ 30 people. That has drastically reduced. It's threefold.
Well, do you know we have a problem? I think the tradition of, okay, you go to high school, from high school you do your course, and then you get the office job and you come and sit in your office. I think that's what we are used to.
Exactly.
So we are not used to entrepreneurship a lot. Let's take a look at most foreigners. They'll come to the Gambia and they venture into businesses and they make it even better than our brothers that are
exactly.
here. Yeah.
So GTUCCU also is taking a lot of focus on agri-entrepreneurs. We are implementing partners of the Giraffe project, where women are supported. They're supported with seed capital. They start the business. But if they are not put through, you don't take them through the journey. Some of them, the business, they die down naturally.
Yeah.
But that's sustainability component of it. We also partner with the Roots project. These women vegetable gardeners, during the peak season, they make money. But the vicious cycle continue. When they make money, festivals come, they spend money. And they said, next year, I'm Suma Bay. So at the end of the day, when the project phased out, it goes back to where it all started. You cannot even come out of your the
So how
poverty.
are we going to help them? How are we going to make sure they maintain?
If you look at our network, just recently we opened a branch in Gunjur.
Yeah.
We are all over the country. We provide access for savings.
Okay.
If you go to Wasu, we have a branch. You go to Bate, we have a branch. You have to SA, we have a branch. You go to Jarason, we have a branch.
Oh, you have all those branches?
Yes.
Okay.
Currently, we are operating in 13 different locations.
What do you have at Talinding, sir?
We don't have office in Talinding.
You don't have an
Our
office
office space is in Carnifing.
Carnifing,
But
okay.
we are also interested in the digitalization of our operations.
Correct.
We understand that people must not walk to space. The space, they should not go to the space. And like a woman who sells vegetable at Talinding market can just, if you have the app with you, at the end of the day, you should be able to say every day $200. I want to challenge myself to save $200. In a month, that 30 days, almost $6,000.
Yes.
Most of us in the office cannot even afford to save $3,000. They have the money with them.
Yes.
But they do not have the required platform where they can save their
To
money
help them save
to
it.
save them. Imagine somebody saving $6,000, even $100 per month to say a day.
Yeah.
That translates to 3,000.
3,000 a month.
And in a year, that they multiply that, you can imagine.
That's a lot of
lot
money.
of money.
Yeah.
We ask ourselves, some of those who are working in the offices, we find it difficult
Yeah.
to save a $4,000
Yeah.
in a month.
Yes.
But that woman in the market, if you look at our revenue monthly, you know, she may be surprised to know that she can save up to $3,000 a month. But that money we are still with her. Her marginal propensity to spend is always high. The high impulsive buying behavior, not knowing that $100, go and buy this, go and buy this, go and if she has a platform to save, that may mark the beginning of a change in her life.
Yeah.
Our women are hardworking. You go out early morning, 4 a.m. They are jumping in trucks. They are jumping in gele-geles, going to different market locations, selling. That has become their routine until they retire. But they cannot even look back and say that this money that I have worked for, it should be able to take care of me at retirement. So we end up having to depend on our children.
Exactly.
And there is no assurance that those kids will look after you.
Well, that is the norm. But I mean, with the credit union, I think that it should change.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah. So finally, Mr. Cham, before we close this segment, what do you have?
Yeah, just to, I don't know what my CEO was saying.
But it was good that you tried to clear this. For me, actually, I was thinking GTU, CCU is just an office where if teachers want motorbike, they give them motorbikes. Because I've seen a lot of motorbikes, GTU, CCU, something like that.
Sure.
You know, it's good that you clarify it now, that it's not only for teachers and it's not only for that.
Yes. On a final note, I would like to say that the event was a very successful one. We hosted a lot of prominent businesses, aspiring business, and it's our job to expand on that, to leverage on this opportunity that GTU-CCU is open to the general public. Then all businesses are most welcome to join GTU-CCU. Individuals, institutions are also most welcome to join GTU-CCU. Whatever you aspire to be, like I said, if your business is legal, is viable, and you have intention to grow, GTU-CCU is your right financial partner. And this is something this is something we have been doing for the past 25 years or so. So it's just that we are here today celebrating our success and inviting more Gambians and aspiring business to join the credit union. And then from there we can all grow and also help the country. There are so many things that only financial cooperatives
we need to put
can do.
Yeah, true.
We are very unique in the way we operate. The shareholders are all of the members. So you can just imagine if we have more members, then we save, mobilize more money, and then further invest it back to our people.
Thank you. So, CEO, I have an appeal. Can GTU-CCU sponsor a segment on this platform?
It's possible because
I really want you people to have a segment. This program runs from Monday to Thursday. So we look at one segment and we give it to you.
There is a possibility because thriving businesses need to sell their
Yeah,
agenda.
because I was thinking this needs to be done in the local language
Yes,
too.
yes, no problem. Like you said, struggling businesses need to be heard. GTUCCU is about time we tell our story.
Yeah.
We have done so much for the country. Just to leverage on that, I want to make an appeal. Policy makers, government of the Gambia.
Quickly, we are out of time.
Government of the Gambia.
Yes.
If you are hearing us, we are saying that you need to further strengthen the cooperative industry by strengthening the cooperative department. Because a lot of things are happening behind the scene. This industry has mobilized over 2 billion.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
GTCC alone, and if you look at the order now, if you look at the movement itself, we are talking about close to 5 billion.
Wow.
That involve all credit unions. But the Department of Cooperative need to be strengthened. This is what changed the dynamic. If regulations are not in place, we have issues.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Dauda Kujabi and Mr. Cham for coming on the program. And we hope the GTUCCU will come on board and sponsor a segment on this morning. We'll knock at your door.
No problem.
Yes. So viewers, this is all we have for today. We'll be back here tomorrow on QTV This Morning. Until then, enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye.